The United States has issued a stern warning. Corrupt Nigerian officials may face visa bans. No more shopping sprees in New York or hush-hush meetings in D.C. If you're corrupt, you're not welcome. The United States mission in Nigeria, in recent post on a social media platform, made it clear fighting corruption knows no borders. Even high-ranking officials won't be spared. This isn't just rhetoric. It's a continuation of a policy that has previously targeted politicians accused of undermining election and democratic processes. Now, join us this morning at Breakfast Central for this discussion as the head of Mission Leadership and Accountability Initiative, Prince Henry Shield Nwazuruahu. A warm welcome to you, Prince. Thank you for joining us on Breakfast Central.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me.
Now, Prince, the U.S. says corruption will not go unpunished, even for high-profile individuals. But here at home, we see governors allegedly spending billions on vanity projects. What does this really say and mean for our country, that it has to take a foreign entity, a foreign country, to say, look, we won't tolerate corruption, or we won't grant visas to corrupt officials?
Thank you so much. Basically, I think it's a very good development if it is implemented. We've had to do a whole lot of petitions in the past, especially during the last general elections, where we wrote to different diplomatic missions in Nigeria, naming those who were involved in election malpractices, manipulations, and rigging, and appealing that not only them, but their whole families should have their visas revoked so that they stay in the country and face the consequences of their actions. The diplomatic development between countries requires subtlety, requires objectivity, and the rest. It is the right of any nation to decide who to grant their visas to and who not to. The statement by the U.S. mission in Nigeria is a welcome development. We pursued these, we pursued a whole lot of cases in this regard for several years. I remember when we wrote about some judges, some senators, a few of these are governors and the rest. People who think they are above the law in Nigeria and that the law cannot deal with them, we tend to externalize the battle to also make the law deal with them from outside the country. If you undermine the will of the people, if you desecrate the sanctity of the electoral laws and the rest, and now the U.S. Embassy has said, if you're found to be corrupt, your visas will be revoked. And we want to see the implementations of this, because if once we see the implementation, then we will be able to write. But for now, we are commending them. But once we see implementation, when we see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people visas have been revoked, we will be able to write to the embassy to thank them, acknowledge their effort in helping Nigeria to fight this corruption that has become the bane of our society. It's a beautiful development, but for now, I wouldn't say we are cautiously optimistic, but what I would say is we are following it day after day to see those who will actually be caught up, because believe me, this will affect a whole lot of our politicians who believe that they are above the law and they are above whatever thing or campaigns we have in Nigeria. You see that, I'll give an example. Every month, once monies drop to the state, you see some of our governors immediately they've jetted out of the country for whatever reasons they might think or they claim. But we all know, have an idea what they're actually doing. Once they leave the country, immediately FARC releases a disbursement to the state. We need to get to the point where this is a very good step. It's the first step. It's not the only step. Other things are needed. Citizens engagement, citizens education. We need to also get involved in making sure that the money that belongs to the people, these resources are properly and judiciously deployed for the betterment of the people. Few days ago, I think it was our policemen or our teacher or our doctors rather, sorry please. It was our doctors who were engaging on a nationwide strike, right? The same day, we saw governors whose children were graduating from schools abroad. So you look at the paradox, you look at it like, okay, this is a country that can't pay its own doctors. But this is the same country where government officials are sending their works, their families, everybody abroad to go and school. We need to cut down these differentials. It is too much. We cannot, as a nation, not be able to pay doctors. It is a sin. It is despicable. It is irritating. Doctors who take care of people's health, doctors who are caregivers, suddenly are going on strike. Teachers have gone on strike. Every sector have people who are lecturers are going on strike. It is terrible. And why? You cannot say that Nigeria does not have enough resources to take care of these basic things. The issue is that the politicians are diverting this money from what they are meant for to their own personal use. And most of the times, we find these monies abroad. So we thank the U.S. government. We thank the U.S. mission in Nigeria. We are grateful. Please let everyone support this cause. Let other missions also join. Want to see the UK High Commission, want to see Canada, want to see even China, want to see everybody come on board that, okay, once you are identified as a thief, a corrupt official in this country called Nigeria, you will not have visa to go anywhere. You will stay in this country so that whatever happens, you will also be here to face the music of your actions. Thank you.
Now, Honorable Shield, some have argued that how effective could this visa bans even be, that the United States is just one of over 250 countries in the world, that these politicians will simply reroute their trips to London, Dubai, or Singapore. How do you respond to this? How effective of a deterrent is this?
No. For the U.S. to lead this charge, it's a beautiful development. If it was smaller country, okay, maybe all these small countries that did this, and the US, they will just tell you, who is going to this country? I'll go to America, I'll go to Canada, I'll go to the UK, I'll go to this place. But for the US itself to be because all politicians in Nigeria love to go to America. Forget what someone said recently on TV. All of them love to go to the US, all of them. So if the US is leading it, we will also appeal to the diplomatic community in Nigeria to please look in this direction. It is becoming unbearable. Corruption is the reason we don't have drugs in our hospitals. Corruption is the reason why teachers are not properly paid. Corruption is the reason why, the country is the way it is. There's nothing else. The same oil that we have, the same crude that we have is what Dubai has, is what other countries, Saudi Arabia, this is what they have, and they are utilizing their resources for the people. You can look at their countries and then compare to us. We are living in a country where you cannot travel 100 or 200 or 300 kilometers without, 100 kilometers without, what is 100 kilometers? You cannot even travel 10, 20 kilometers without having to enter either potholes or bad roads or whatever. We do not have it. I'm even surprised that we have light this morning. For the past 6-7 months, we've had issues with the AEDC. It's terrible. Basic things of life. Drugs in our hospitals, children being able to go to school, transportation that is affordable to all workers and people who want to move around. Nobody is asking for big, mighty things, just the little ones. So we're appealing to all, and maybe now our future letters wouldn't be to US, UK, and the rest. Maybe when we are doing more letters now, reporting corrupt officials, we will now be able to go to in fact, the community as itself, the diplomatic community in Nigeria, will be able to write them and beg them, let everyone come, because this is for the good of the nation. People who move illicit funds to your country, they are not helping your country, they are impoverishing ours, while giving themselves five-star lives abroad. Look at the country, look at the citizens of Nigeria. Do we look like an oil-producing nation citizens? No, we don't. We don't live it, we don't experience it. There are people that were born in Nigeria maybe 50 years ago, 40 years ago or so. Up to today, they've not experienced what good governance should mean. They've not experienced what life should be. We are used to up NEPA, we are used to the bad roads, we are used to a country that malfunctions by the second. So if the US has started, we are grateful. The UK, we are also hoping that they will come on board. We are hoping that every diplomatic mission in Nigeria will be able to join. That is how and when it will become extremely effective. But for now, we thank the US for even going ahead with this. We want to see the implementation, not just the announcement, and we're very grateful. Hopefully with time, other missions will also join, and we will have our politicians sitting down here with us from January to December. Let us face the consequences of their actions. If you steal money for roads and there's no road to your place, face it. If you steal money for schools and your children in your community cannot go to school, sit down and face it. If there are no drugs in the hospitals in your community, sit down. Let us know that you that caused it, you are also sitting down here to enjoy the pain and the repercussions of your actions with us.
Okay. I hear when you say that we're grateful that the US is doing this and you want the UK to come on board. But isn't it concerning that we're waiting until foreign governments hold Nigerian officials to account? What's wrong with our own internal mechanism for justice? And how do we ensure that we on our own can hold our people? America is not expecting Nigeria to hold their president to account. Why did we have to get to this point where we are expecting, hoping, praying, and rejoicing that America is holding Nigerian government to account? Why can't we hold our own to account?
Thank you. Beautiful question. In fact, very extremely interesting question. Number one is that how many Americans do you see, how many American government officials do you see coming to Nigeria to come and build houses for their families, buy houses, and even holiday vacation here? You rarely find them. You know why? Because the country is not conducive for such an experiment. Then number two, the system that we operate, we have not been able to divorce our institutions from our politics. So you find politicians still being able to prevail, or rather influence decisions of certain institutions that should be independent. A few days ago, when my friend Omoyele Sowore wrote to the Attorney General of Florida with respect to the Minister of the FCT, you know, I had people who called me, are you sure this thing was going to work? I had even last night I had discussion with a few of my friends, and I told them, listen, America is America. This is a society where institutions are divorced, they are separated from politicians. So you cannot find a politician, a governor now saying, Attorney General or this one, you cannot do this. It's rare, because if you do that, you're putting yourself up for whatever backlash that comes. And you know, they have effective systems that work. In Nigeria, we are still grappling. Yes, there are one or two who try their best, who are still trying a lot to be able to say, okay, let's sanitize the system. But see, we have to be realistic and truthful to ourselves. As long as politicians keep meddling in the affairs of our anti-graft agencies, of our security agencies, as long as they keep playing politics, you know, appointing their cronies, appointing their godchildren or whatever, it will be very difficult to have an institution that can even challenge the person who appointed them. You understand? And say, oh, this petition has been made against you, or oh, it doesn't matter that you're a member of the ruling party, there are petitions against you, we have evidences of the crimes you've committed. What we've been seeing for a while has been a situation where whoever is not in the good books of the government is the person who is being invited, who is being probed, who is being prosecuted. These are not the way that institutions, especially anti-graft institutions, should function. Unfortunately, I will not blame the current operators or the people there, but unfortunately, our system is such that if you do not play to the role or to the tune of those who appointed you, they will remove you, and there is no public to defend you. There is no system to protect you from such influence. You understand what I'm saying? Our systems are not matured to that level. We need a situation where a policeman can arrest a local government chairman, an honorable member, a senator, without fearing that, oh, my oga will call me, somebody will call me, I will receive a call from Abuja that I cannot do. You understand what I'm saying? Because look at it. Most of these guys who actually steal these funds, they have security men guiding them. What are the roles of these security men? Some of them even help them to move these Ghana must goes. Some of them help them to do all this because what? If they do not do it and they fight against it, number one is the system might sack them, the system might remove them, and then you see a situation where they are left vulnerable. No protection, no. So we need to build institutions, and until we have institutions that are able to challenge the appointers, the politicians and the rest, we will keep playing. See, we've tried this long and long. We have tried it a whole lot of times. It's not going to work until something like EFCC has a chairman who is ready to look into the ruling party and tell the ruling party, we are probing you for so and so and so, and get them arrested. It can't happen for now because why? Everything about our system now is about patronage. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, I'm the appointer. That's the reason why you will have in Kaduna, El-Rufai was having a meeting and thugs went and invaded the place. And rather than invite the people who did this, El-Rufai was summoned to come. You understand? Someone's meeting was disrupted. Rather than arrest the culprit, they are, because what? El-Rufai is in the opposition and the ruling whatever. Do you understand? We have not been able to remove politics from our institutions. The influence of politicians on our institutions is affecting the credibility and their own efficiency to be able to carry out their duties dutifully and faithfully. I think that's just the reason. So for now,
thank you so much.
Those countries who have this, let us thank them, because you can't go and influence the actions.
All right, Prince Nwazuruahu.
With Wike now,
right.
You can.
Yeah, we unfortunately have to interrupt because we have another conversation that needs to begin right away. But Prince Henry Shield Nwazuruahu, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I believe it's Nwazuruahu.
God will bless you for correcting it. I wanted to say, what is Nwazuruahu? I don't know who is I don't know who is deliberately messing with my son. And please don't do that too.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me. God bless you.